He gonna swing on me. I ain't did nothing to that man, bro.
Atlanta nightlife has always been full of surprises. The music, the flashing lights, the expensive bottles, the famous faces. It's a world where anything can happen. But what went down one night left even the most seasoned partygoers shocked. People who thought they had seen it all suddenly realized that drama can take a turn when old friendships, hidden betrayal, and wounded pride collide in one explosive moment. Because this wasn't just another argument. This wasn't social media shade or reality TV tension. This was real, raw, and dangerously personal. And when Kirk Frost and young Jock crossed paths with Lil Scrappy, nobody expected the night to end the way it did.
Man, I am frustrated and irritated, man.
The club was packed that evening. Celebrities, influencers, and industry insiders filled every corner. The DJ was on fire, the crowd was moving, and the energy was electric. For most people, it was just another night to relax and escape from stress. But for a few men inside that building, the night was about to become a turning point. And the truth is, the tension had been building for weeks before anyone even set foot into that club. You see, their history didn't start in a nightclub. It started years ago, back when loyalty meant something different. They had shared stages, shared opportunities, and even shared struggles. Atlanta's music and reality TV scene had connected them like family. They supported each other through career ups and downs, relationship drama, and public criticism. Fans loved seeing them together because they believed the brotherhood was real. But behind the scenes, things were slowly falling apart. Conversations were happening in private. People were picking sides. Rumors were spreading. And in the entertainment world, rumors can destroy relationships faster than the truth ever could. Scrappy had been going through his own battles: marriage issues, co-parenting stress, and pressure to stay relevant in an industry that constantly moves forward. He felt misunderstood, judged, and sometimes even betrayed by people he once trusted. Meanwhile, Kirk and Jock were dealing with their own reputations and business interests. They had families, brands, and careers to protect. At first, it seemed like simple misunderstandings. A comment here, a shady interview there. But here's the twist. Screenshots started circulating. Private conversations were being exposed. Things Scrappy allegedly said about his friends began spreading through Atlanta's tight-knit circles. Some people believed he was talking behind their backs. Others believed he was being set up. And that's when the real problem began. What nobody expected was how deep the hurt actually went. For Kirk, loyalty was everything. He had stood by friends through scandals, public embarrassment, and personal struggles. So when he saw messages that made it seem like Scrappy had been criticizing him privately, it felt like a knife in the back. Jack felt the same way. He believed that if someone had an issue, they should speak directly, not hide behind conversations and secret meetings. Instead of confronting Scrappy immediately, they chose to wait. They wanted proof. They wanted to see if he would come to them honestly. But weeks passed, and the distance between them grew. So when they heard Scrappy would be at that exclusive nightclub, they saw it as the perfect moment to finally address everything. That night, Kirk and Jock arrived early. They sat quietly in the VIP section watching the crowd. They weren't drinking, they weren't celebrating, they were focused. Anyone who knew them could sense something was different. The music was loud, but their silence was louder. Time passed, the club grew more crowded, people laughed and danced, waitresses moved through the room carrying bottles and sparklers, but their eyes stayed fixed on the entrance. Then the doors opened. Scrappy walked in, confident and smiling, completely unaware of what was waiting for him. He greeted fans, hugged friends, and laughed with his crew. His presence immediately changed the energy in the room. People gravitated toward him, cameras came out, the vibe became even more alive. But not everyone was celebrating. From across the room, Kirk and Jock watched every move. Their expressions were calm, but inside, emotions were boiling. Eventually, Scrappy noticed them. He smiled and nodded, trying to keep things friendly. But something felt off. Their body language wasn't welcoming, it wasn't warm, it was cold and controlled. Still, he didn't think much of it. He continued enjoying his night. But here's where everything shifted. Kirk stood up, Jock followed. The two men walked through the crowd slowly, creating tension with every step. People sensed something serious was about to happen. The music suddenly felt quieter, even though the volume hadn't changed. When they reached Scrappy, there was no handshake, no hug, no smile, just silence. Then Kirk spoke. His voice was calm but sharp. He asked one simple question: "Why are you playing both sides?" Scrappy looked confused. He tried to laugh it off, but the tension was too strong. He asked what they were talking about. That's when Jock pulled out his phone. He showed him the messages. The change in Scrappy's face was instant. His smile faded, his eyes narrowed. He tried to explain. He said things were taken out of context. He claimed people were twisting his words. But Kirk wasn't convinced. The conversation quickly became heated. Voices rose, the crowd began watching. Some people started recording. Scrappy felt attacked. He reminded them of their history. He spoke about loyalty. He said he had defended them when others spoke badly about them. But Kirk and Jock felt betrayed. To them, the proof was clear. The argument grew louder. Then Scrappy said something that hit deep. He accused them of being fake in private, too. He claimed they weren't innocent. That was the moment the situation became personal. People nearby started moving away. Security began stepping closer. The DJ lowered the music slightly, but the men were too emotional to notice. Jock stepped forward. Scrappy moved closer. They were face to face, chest to chest. Kirk tried to keep control, warning them both to calm down, but emotions had already taken over. Then it happened. A push. It was quick but powerful. Drink spilled, glass shattered, someone screamed, and suddenly chaos erupted. Friends jumped in, security rushed forward. The VIP section turned into a battlefield. People were shouting, pulling, and trying to separate them. Scrappy's crew refused to back down. Jock's people stepped in to protect him. The fight spread beyond the original argument. Chairs fell, bottles crashed. The dance floor turned into confusion and fear. The DJ shut off the music completely. For a moment, all that could be heard was shouting and the sound of bodies struggling. Security finally managed to separate them. Kirk and Jock were pulled toward one exit. Scrappy and his crew were dragged in the opposite direction. Outside, the drama continued. Fans were already posting videos. Within minutes, social media exploded. But the physical fight was only part of the story, because emotionally, the damage had already been done. In the days that followed, the internet took sides. Some blamed Scrappy, others defended him. Rumors spread even faster. Behind the scenes, things were worse. Families became involved. Friends were forced to choose. Old wounds reopened. Scrappy felt isolated. He believed people he loved had turned against him without hearing his truth. The stress affected his health, his relationships, and his peace of mind. Kirk and Jock also struggled. They didn't want the friendship to end like that, but they felt respect was broken, and in their world, respect is everything. The emotional toll was heavy. Scrappy spent nights questioning everything. He wondered who was real and who wasn't. He worried about his children, his future, and his legacy. His family saw the pain. They saw the anger, but also the hurt underneath. Kirk and Jock privately admitted the situation saddened them. They missed the brotherhood, but pride kept them distant. And that's the reality many people don't see. Fame doesn't protect you from heartbreak. Money doesn't heal betrayal, and public drama often hides private pain. What started as a misunderstanding turned into a public war, but deep down, it was about something much bigger: trust, loyalty, and the fear of being hurt by people you love. But here's the truth nobody talks about. Sometimes friendships don't end because of one moment. They end because of many small moments that build up over time. This fight wasn't about messages. It was about years of pressure, stress, and unspoken emotions. And as time passed, all three men had to face the consequences. They learned that words carry weight, that pride can destroy relationships, and that sometimes the hardest thing isn't fighting your enemies, it's forgiving your friends. The nightclub lights eventually turned back on. The music returned, people continued partying as if nothing had happened, but for them, everything had changed. And maybe that's the biggest lesson, because life keeps moving, even when your world feels broken. One night, one argument, one moment of anger can change everything forever. And the question that still remains is, will they ever truly repair what was lost? Or was that explosive night the final chapter of a brotherhood that once felt unbreakable? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain, in a world full of cameras, fame, and pressure, the real battles are never the ones we see. They are the ones happening inside the heart.